Chief McCarney, can you say what caused this explosion at this time?
No, I cannot say what caused the explosion at this time.
Well, do you have anything to indicate who might have caused it?
No, we don't have that information yet either.
I understand there was a meeting during the night of the Muslims which broke up at 11 o'clock. Do you know anything about that?
Well, this is just a norm. They do hold meetings quite often, quite frequently there.
Chief, would you say that this is in retaliation for the shooting of Malcolm X?
No, I could not say that at this time.
Could you say anything at all as to the reason for the explosion and subsequent fire?
No, I'm sorry to say I cannot. I can only relate to you what occurred and what was told to me by the men who were assigned in the vicinity of 102 West on 16th Street, which is the Muhammad Mosque.
Can you recap those occurrences, Chief?
Well, about 2:15 a.m., a terrific muffled explosion occurred, at which time the glass was blown out onto the street, and the fire started on the 4th floor of 102 West on 16th Street.
Of course, it just about damaged the building completely.
Yes, the firemen are still playing water on the building.
Chief, is there anything to indicate the type of explosion, or was it a time bomb, or what?
No, at this particular time, we have not determined just what caused the explosion.
Could it have been caused by anyone throwing it or anything like that?
Well, that's hard to speculate on at this time.
Thank you, Chief.
Sure.
Chief, was this fire an explosion of a suspicious nature?
We don't know at this time.
Well, can you tell us just what the circumstances?
We're informed by the police who were around the corner that there was a muffled sound similar to an explosion, and that they looked up, saw the falling glass from the 4th floor of the building 102 West 116th Street, turned in a fire alarm. The apparatus arrives. They start to extinguish the fire on the top floor in the normal way. When they find the fire had rapidly spread throughout that meeting room. It was a large meeting room of the Muslims.
And at the present time, there is nothing to indicate there was anything suspicious about it?
It'd be highly speculative to say one way or the other.
Well, at what point is your investigation now, Commissioner?
It's at the point of that the fire marshals and the detectives of the police are presently interrogating members of the Muslim group and other persons who might have some information concerning the fire.
But so far, nothing to indicate that this was in retaliation in connection with the shooting of Malcolm X.
Positively nothing.
There were a number of firemen injured. Could you tell us about that, Commissioner?
I'm informed there were 5, one of whom might be seriously injured.
One of 5 were hurt.
That's right.
And of course, there was considerable damage to a couple of the trucks out there in the cave-in.
Yes, the parapet and side wall at the Lenox Avenue side fell out when the roof fell in and did damage, considerably damage 2 of our apparatus, Ladder 40 and Engine 91.
Chief, this is, you've just been in your office a short time now. This is kind of a baptism of considerable nature, would you say?
We've been very active this fire season, yes.
Thank you.
Chief, is the fire under control now? Yes, it is. How long did it take to get it under control? Oh, I would say approximately 2 hours. A number of firemen have been injured, and of course those trucks. Could you tell us about that? Yes, we were driven from the building by the rapid progress of the fire, and while we were preparing to set up an exterior attack, there was a collapse of the wall on 116th Street. Well, now, Chief, what about the explosion itself? What can you tell us about that? Well, there was no explosion while the fire department was on the scene. There are rumors that there were explosions before our arrival, so I can't really comment on it. Our fire marshals are investigating it, but that takes time before we come up with a complete picture. Well, what about the damage? What did you say? Well, the damage is extensive. You can see it across the whole fourth floor, and there is some fire on the third floor. The extent of that we won't know until we get in there. Thank you. You're welcome.
Did you expect something like this to happen so soon?
No.
No?
No.
What about you?
No, I didn't.
You didn't? Did you think that this would break out at all?
No, not really, because I don't know. I just came out here and I don't know why it really happened.
Yeah.
Not really, because it's one of those things, I guess.
Yeah. Do you feel there's a tension here in Harlem? Do you feel that tension or what?
Well, tension has always been in Harlem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now, as a result of the Malcolm X shooting.
Well, I couldn't say.
Has that been right?
I couldn't say.
What do you feel about that?
Well, if I feel like I can't say either.
Huh?
I really can't say either.
Uh-huh. Do any of you, were you members of this Muslim group over there? Know anything about that? Uh-huh.
What give you the idea to think that they might be part of these?
Might be what?
That they are causing this disturbance. What give you the idea to think that they are doing these?
The idea that they're what?
What give you the idea that you would think that it might be causing the groups or something? You think it's...
I don't have any idea at all. I'm trying to find out. What you think? What you think?
Well, mine's about the same as yours. I don't have no kind of idea that... I don't know. It's just a tragic thing to see, that's all.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you. Now, where were you when the explosion occurred?
It was in front of 102 West 116th Street.
Oh, were you assigned to the Muslim mosque there?
That's right.
Well, now, just what happened?
About 2:15 or 2:20, there was a muffled explosion from the top floor of the mosque. We ran across 116th Street, my partner and I, and all the windows come out of the top floor.
Yeah.
We noticed a red glow in the ceiling like a fire was beginning to start, so I ran down the corner to Lenox Avenue, and I saw Patrolman Frank Valenti there. Told Frank to go and turn in the alarm, and a passing radio car came by. We radioed for assistance. We got all the people out of the area as best we could.
Was there anybody up there at the time?
I don't believe so.
Uh-huh. Did you hear an explosion?
Yes. It was a muffled explosion. Every glass came out of the top window on the top floor.
Well, how would you say that this happened, inasmuch as you were assigned to the place and it probably has been under surveillance for quite a while?
It has been, definitely.
Yes. Is there any way to explain that?
All the doors were locked downstairs. I have no idea.
Uh-huh. See anybody running away?
No, I didn't.
Were any lights in the building?
The only light was on in the hallway there, I believe.
Did you went in the building immediately, or what did you do?
We went in the door after. We opened the door and we went in. And we only went up a little ways, then we came back down again.
What's the first thing you did when you heard the explosion?
Well, we got away from the building because all the debris was falling down. Then we turned in the fire alarm, then we radioed for assistance.
Did you pull your guns at all?
At first I did, yes.
Why?
Well, I didn't know, at first what was going on.
Was there anybody in the building?
Not to my knowledge.
What time was this patrolman?
About 2:15 or 2:20.
Uh-huh. What exactly did you hear?